In the vast, haunting landscapes of Iceland, a mystery has lingered for years, shrouded in the ash of a dormant volcano. A group of adventurous tourists, eager to explore the rugged beauty of this island nation, suddenly vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and heartache. Their disappearance sent shockwaves through the close-knit travel community and left families grappling with the uncertainty of loss. For years, the case remained cold, as hope dwindled into despair, and the memories of laughter and joy faded into haunting silence. But in a shocking turn of events, a discovery was made. An old camera, buried deep within the volcanic ash, emerged from obscurity, offering a flicker of hope that the truth may still be within reach. This camera, once thought to be lost to the earth, held the potential to unlock the secrets of that fateful day when 4 lives were abruptly snuffed out. What had been lost to time was now at the forefront of a renewed investigation, igniting a flame of determination in one person in particular. Meet Emma Carter, the sister of one of the missing tourists. For years, she has fought against the tide of despair, holding onto the threads of hope that perhaps somewhere in the world her brother was still alive. Emma's life, once filled with dreams and aspirations, has been overshadowed by the uncertainty of his fate. Each passing year has been a painful reminder of their family's void, a wound that refused to heal. When the camera was discovered, the flicker of hope morphed into a raging fire of determination. Emma vowed to uncover the truth behind her brother's disappearance and the mystery that surrounded it. The case, now reignited by the unexpected find, was not merely about the camera itself, but what it could reveal. Emma sifted through layers of ash and time, determined to piece together the last moments captured on that device. Yet, as she began her quest, she faced skepticism from the authorities. They had long since moved on, deeming the case unsolvable, a mere footnote in the annals of missing persons. How could one woman's pursuit of justice breathe life into a case that had been cold for so long? It is a question Emma would grapple with as she delved deeper into the investigation, fueled by love and the desperate need for closure. With each new lead, she uncovered not just memories of her brother, but hints of a darker reality hidden beneath the surface. The footage, when finally recovered, revealed more than just snapshots of a vacation gone awry. It hinted at the possibility of a hidden danger lurking within the breathtaking scenery. As she combed through the video, Emma found herself drawn into a web of secrets that extended far beyond her brother's disappearance. The moments captured on that camera were unsettling, suggesting that their journey had taken a sinister turn. What had initially seemed like a simple adventure had morphed into something far more complex, as shadows of deceit and betrayal emerged from the landscape. Emma soon realized that the truth behind the disappearance was never going to be straightforward. The volcano that towered over their last known location was not just a backdrop to their story. It was a silent witness to the events that led to their vanishing. As the investigation progressed, she began to uncover connections between the tourists and local individuals with ties to the darker underbelly of Iceland's tourism industry. With each revelation, Emma faced mounting resistance, not only from the authorities, but also from those who wished to keep the past buried. The more she learned, the more the pressure intensified, leading her to question who could be trusted. Was the disappearance truly an accident, or had her brother and his companions stumbled upon something that placed them in grave danger? The pursuit of answers took Emma down treacherous paths, forcing her to confront the reality that the people she trusted, including law enforcement, may not have had her best interests at heart. The ash that had entombed the camera now symbolized the many layers of secrets that obscured the truth. As the shadows lengthened around her, Emma's resolve only strengthened. She understood that for every piece of information she uncovered, there would be obstacles designed to thwart her progress. However, the stakes were too high for her to back down. Her brother's memory, once clouded by uncertainty, now propelled her forward with a sense of purpose. With the camera as her compass, Emma's journey to unravel the mystery had only just begun. A truth lay buried beneath the ash, waiting to be unearthed, and she was determined to bring it to light. The journey would not only test her endurance, but would also reveal the depths of human resilience in the face of unimaginable loss. As we begin this investigation into the disappearance of these tourists in Iceland, we invite you to join Emma Carter on her quest for the truth. Could the answers lie within the shadows of the past, or would they remain forever hidden beneath the ash? The story of loss, hope, and the relentless pursuit of justice is only just beginning. Emma spent countless hours poring over the footage retrieved from the camera. Frame by frame, she scrutinized the last moments of her brother's life, hoping to find a clue that would guide her toward answers. The images revealed laughter and camaraderie against the breathtaking backdrop of Iceland's stark beauty. Yet, as the scenes shifted to a darker, more chaotic sequence, Emma felt her heart race. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught her eye. In the background of one particular shot, she spotted a figure lurking near the crater's edge. The person was obscured by the volcanic smoke and ash, barely discernible, but undeniably present. Emma's gut tightened. Who was this individual, and what role did they play in her brother's final moments? Her instincts urged her to dig deeper. She decided to reach out to local authorities, hoping they would take her new lead seriously. However, as she presented her findings, she was met with skepticism. The officers, accustomed to cold cases, exchanged knowing glances that echoed their disbelief. "Miss Carter, this footage is over a year old. We've gone through every report and testimony," one officer stated, his voice laced with condescension. "There's nothing new here." But Emma refused to be dissuaded. Armed with her conviction and the haunting image from the camera, she revisited the crater. The site was now a tourist attraction, bustling with visitors drawn to its rugged allure. She felt a mix of anger and sadness as she stood at the edge, the memory of her brother a weight on her heart. With each step, she asked questions, hoping to find anyone who had been there that fateful day. After hours of searching, she finally encountered a couple who had been hiking nearby. Their faces paled when she mentioned the disappearance. "Yes, we remember," the woman said, her voice trembling. There were strange noises coming from the crater. It sounded like someone or something was in distress. Emma's pulse quickened. Distress? Could this have been more than just an accident? Did her brother encounter someone or something dangerous? As night fell, she returned home, her mind racing with possibilities. The deeper she delved into her investigation, the more unsettling questions emerged. What if her brother had stumbled upon something dangerous that day? Or worse, what if he had been deliberately led into peril? Her thoughts consumed her, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Shadows danced in her peripheral vision, and every creak of her home echoed ominously. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma began to track down the figure from the footage, retracing her brother's steps and speaking with locals who might have seen something unusual. She learned of a mysterious group rumored to conduct secretive activities in the region, drawing her deeper into a web of intrigue and danger. With each revelation, the stakes grew higher. Emma realized that she was not just seeking answers about her brother, she might be unearthing a conspiracy that could threaten her own safety. As she prepared for her next steps, a chilling thought crossed her mind. What if the true danger was closer than she ever imagined? As the investigation unfolded, Emma's perseverance would soon lead her to a confrontation that would reveal the depths of deception surrounding her brother's disappearance. Little did she know, the truth was lurking just beneath the surface, waiting for the moment to erupt. The days turned into weeks, and with each passing moment, Emma felt the weight of her brother's absence like a suffocating shroud. The more she uncovered, the more she sensed the oppressive silence that surrounded the group she had heard whispers about. A clandestine organization operating in the shadows of the majestic Icelandic landscape seemed to revel in secrecy, and she was determined to expose them. After tirelessly connecting with locals, Emma finally found someone willing to speak. An elderly man, weathered by years, had seen strange lights on the night her brother disappeared. He described odd gatherings near the crater, where figures clad in dark clothing exchanged hushed words under the cover of night. It was here that Emma felt a mix of fear and resolve. She was on the brink of something monumental. As she delved deeper, she began to notice unsettling patterns. The mysterious group had ties to the area's tourism industry, their presence disguised as harmless excursions. But beneath this facade lay a labyrinth of illicit activities, including illegal mining and unregulated research that could threaten both the environment and the safety of unsuspecting tourists. Her heart raced as she pieced together the fragments of information, each revelation leading her closer to a hidden truth. Emma's investigation led her to a chilling encounter at a local bar, a place where rumors spilled like the drinks that filled the glasses of weary travelers. She met a woman who claimed to have been part of the group, a former insider disillusioned by their practices. With a trembling voice, she recounted tales of tourists disappearing after venturing too close to the crater. They had been lured in, she claimed, under the pretense of adventure, only to vanish without a trace. With this new lead, Emma felt a surge of determination. She arranged to meet the woman again, but as they set a time and place, a sense of dread washed over her. The woman's warnings echoed in her mind. "Be careful, Emma. They are always watching." In that night, the air was thick with tension. Emma arrived at the designated meeting spot, her heart pounding. She scanned the area, keenly aware of the shadows lurking beyond the streetlights. Minutes stretched into what felt like hours, and the anxious silence enveloped her. Suddenly her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number flashed on the screen. "You need to stop looking." A chill ran down her spine. Who were these people, and how did they know what she was investigating? Just as her instinct screamed for her to leave, a figure emerged from the darkness. It was the woman, but something was off. The fear in her eyes was palpable, and before Emma could speak, she was abruptly pulled aside, her voice barely a whisper. "They're onto you! We need to go now!" In that moment, Emma realized the gravity of her pursuit. The truth she sought was more dangerous than she had ever imagined. As they hurried away, the shadows seemed to close in around them, a reminder that the deeper she dug, the more perilous her quest became. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Emma knew that the next steps would not only test her resolve, but could change everything. The confrontation was looming, and she was determined to expose the dark secrets that lay buried beneath the ash. But would she be able to bring her brother's truth into the light? Or would she, too, become a victim of the very darkness she was trying to unveil? Emma felt the weight of the woman's words as they ducked into a narrow alley, heart pounding in her chest. She had come so far, yet the revelation that she was being watched sent tremors of fear through her. The woman introduced herself as Sarah, a local who had witnessed the events surrounding the crater that day. With urgency in her voice, Sarah explained that there were whispers in the community, rumors of a group that had been monitoring her inquiries. "People are scared to talk, Emma," she said, her eyes darting around, ensuring they were not followed. "Those who know the truth, they're afraid of what might happen if they speak out." The chilling reality settled in. This was no ordinary disappearance. Emma's brother had unearthed something significant, something that had attracted a dark and dangerous attention. Sarah revealed that there were sightings of tourists in the area shortly before the incident, individuals whose presence had gone unreported, yet crucial to understanding the mystery. "Those cameras you found, they weren't just left behind," Sarah continued, her voice barely above a whisper. "They were intended to capture something that someone doesn't want to be seen." Emma's mind raced as she processed this new information. It was time to dig deeper, and she needed evidence. If these cameras were connected to her brother's disappearance, they could hold the key to unveiling the truth. But with each passing moment, she felt the weight of danger pressing down on her. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma and Sarah hatched a plan. They would return to the site of the crater where the cameras had been found and search for more evidence. As night fell, they made their way back, cloaked in darkness, hearts pounding in sync with the rhythm of their footsteps. The crater loomed ahead, an ominous reminder of the events that had unfolded. As they approached, Emma's instincts tingled with apprehension. What would they find? What secrets lay buried beneath the layers of ash? With each step into the pit, the air grew heavier, thick with the weight of unanswered questions. They began to sift through the remnants, their flashlights cutting through the darkness, illuminating fragments of the past. Just as Emma was about to lose hope, she stumbled upon a small, charred object. It was a memory card, almost unrecognizable, but somehow intact. Emma's heart raced. This could be the breakthrough she needed. But as she held it up to the light, a sudden rustle in the brush sent a jolt of fear through her. Someone was watching. In the distance, shadows began to converge, and Emma's pulse quickened. The confrontation she had feared was about to unfold, and she was unprepared for the truth it would reveal. Was this the moment she had been waiting for, or was it the beginning of a nightmare from which she could not awaken? Emma's breath caught in her throat as the shadows drew closer, her mind racing with possibilities. Had her search for the truth led her into a trap, but her instinct to uncover the truth for her missing sister outweighed her fear. She clutched the memory card tightly, feeling its cold surface against her palm as she turned to face the oncoming figures. As they emerged from the darkness, she recognized one of them. It was Tom, her sister's old boyfriend, a man who had always maintained a quiet distance since the disappearance. With him was a stranger, a man whose expression was hard to read. What was Tom doing here? Emma's heart sank as she recalled their last conversation. He had always been evasive about that night, the night her sister vanished. "Emma," Tom called, his voice strained. "You shouldn't be here. You don't know what you're getting into." The tension in the air thickened as she took a step forward. "I know more than you think, Tom. I found this." She raised the memory card, and for a moment the world seemed to stand still. Tom's face paled, and the stranger shifted uneasily. "You need to put that down. You have no idea what it contains." Emma's determination hardened. "I'm not backing down. This is about Anna, and I deserve to know the truth." At that moment, the stranger spoke. "The truth? You really think you're ready for it? What if I told you that Anna wasn't just a victim, but part of something much bigger? Something that involves people you trust?" Those words hung in the air, a chilling revelation that shattered the fragile semblance of control Emma thought she had. Her mind raced back to the fragments of her sister's life she had pieced together, mysterious phone calls, late-night outings, and a hidden side she had never known. "What do you mean?" she demanded, her voice trembling yet fierce. The stranger stepped forward, the shadows of the past mingling with the present. "She was involved in something dangerous, Emma. Something that spiraled out of control. It wasn't just a simple disappearance. It was a calculated move to protect her." Emma felt the ground shift beneath her, doubt clawing at her resolve. Was it possible that Anna had willingly stepped into a darker world? Had she hidden secrets that could unravel their lives? Tom interjected, desperation in his eyes. "Emma, please listen. This isn't just about you anymore. If you go down this path, you'll put yourself in danger. There are people who don't want this story to come out." "Are you saying you know who's responsible?" Emma challenged, her voice rising. The stakes had never felt higher, and she was teetering on the brink of a revelation that could change everything. Not just responsible, but linked to a criminal organization. Anna didn't just disappear, she was trying to escape them. Emma felt the pieces of the puzzle starting to fit together, but it wasn't a picture she had expected. The world of her sister had been filled with shadows and secrets, a tangled web that led back to the very people who claimed to care. With the newfound knowledge of her sister's hidden life, Emma's investigation took a dark turn. What had Anna been involved in that was so dangerous? Who could she trust? As the confrontation unfolded in the heart of the crater, Emma realized that the truth was more convoluted than she could have ever imagined. The stakes had never been higher, and the line between victim and accomplice blurred before her eyes. With renewed determination, she vowed to uncover the truth, no matter where it led her. The memory card clutched in her hand felt like a key to the dark secrets of the past. Would it lead her to justice for Anna, or deeper into a world of danger she could never have prepared for? The search for answers had only just begun. Emma's next step was clear. She needed to decipher the contents of the memory card. With trembling hands, she connected it to her laptop, her heart racing as the files loaded. Each image flickered onto the screen, showcasing moments from Anna's life that Emma thought she knew well. Snapshots of laughter, vacations, and friends. But as she scrolled further, the tone shifted. There were images of Anna in unfamiliar places, with people she had never met. The smiles faded, replaced by tense expressions and shadowy figures. Emma's stomach knotted as she recognized the locations, certain nightclubs, dimly lit alleys, and even an abandoned warehouse. Each picture felt like a piece of a dark puzzle, leading her deeper into a world she could hardly comprehend. Then one file caught her eye, a video labeled "The Last Night." With a deep breath, Emma clicked play. The footage was grainy, but clear enough to capture the essence of the night. Anna was there, looking vibrant yet anxious, surrounded by a group of people whose faces were obscured. The atmosphere was electric, but something about it felt off. Emma noticed a man hovering at the edge of the frame, his eyes darting around like a predator surveying his territory. Anna seemed to be in conversation with him, her smile strained. The video blurred at the edges, focusing on the man, who was dressed sharply but carried an unsettling air. Emma could almost feel the warning bells ringing in her ears. As the video played out, a sudden commotion erupted. Emma's breath caught as she watched Anna's expression change to one of fear. She turned away, making a desperate attempt to leave, but the man reached out, grabbing her arm. The screen cut to black before Emma could see what happened next. Emma's mind raced. Who was that man? What had happened after the video ended? She felt an urgent need to track him down, to understand the web of connections that surrounded her sister. But how could she do that without raising suspicion? The authorities had dismissed Anna's case, and now they might not take her seriously either. Determined, Emma began to dig deeper. She reached out to Anna's old friends, those who had been in the videos. Each conversation felt like peeling back layers of denial, revealing fragmented memories that hinted at a more significant threat. Some were unwilling to talk, their eyes clouded with fear, while others offered vague recollections of parties that spiraled out of control. Days turned into weeks as Emma pored over social media feeds, searching for the man in the video. Slowly, she began to piece together a timeline, connecting dots that others had overlooked. The more she uncovered, the more she realized Anna had been entangled in something far more dangerous than a simple disappearance. With each clue, the chilling realization sunk deeper. Anna had known something that put her life at risk, and now Emma was on the verge of uncovering it. But with that knowledge came a heavy weight of fear. Could she confront the man from the video? Was it even safe to do so? Each answer only led to more questions, more uncertainty. The shadows of Anna's life loomed larger, and Emma felt as though she was being pulled into a dark vortex. As she prepared to take the next step, a feeling of dread washed over her. The deeper she delved into the mystery, the closer she got to a truth that could shatter everything she thought she knew. Emma felt as though time was running out, and she was caught in a race against forces she could not yet understand. And just when she thought she was gaining ground, an unexpected message popped up on her screen, sending shivers down her spine. "Stop looking for him. You're in over your head." Emma's heart raced. Who was watching her? And what would they do to keep their secrets buried? Emma stared at the screen, her pulse quickening as the gravity of the message settled over her like a thick fog. "Stop looking for him." The words echoed ominously in her mind, a stark warning that sent her thoughts spiraling into a labyrinth of fear and confusion. Who could have sent such a message? Was it someone connected to Anna, or was it a stranger trying to deter her from the truth? Her instinct urged her to abandon the investigation, to retreat into the safety of ignorance. But Anna's face, the warmth of her smile, the twinkle in her eyes, haunted Emma. She had to press on. The stakes had never felt higher, and yet the drive for answers burned fiercely within her. Determined, Emma began her search anew, poring over the details of Anna's last known movements, piecing together fragments of her sister's life that had previously seemed innocuous. She revisited the video footage, scanning the faces of the tourists around Anna, hoping to catch a glimpse of someone who might hold the key. Then she remembered the man. His presence felt too significant to overlook. The one who had so casually brushed past Anna in the shadows of the crater. Emma began to connect the dots, seeking out information on the man's identity. As the hours turned into days, her investigation led her to online forums and social media pages where other travelers shared their experiences in Iceland. As she delved deeper, Emma stumbled upon an unsettling revelation. A series of posts from a user who frequently documented hiking excursions in remote areas of Iceland included a striking photo. It depicted a makeshift campsite nestled in the rugged terrain, a place eerily similar to where Anna had disappeared. The caption read, "Not all who wander are lost, but some definitely are." Emma's heart raced as she traced the profile back to an individual with an alarming number of connections to local guides and influencers in the area. This person had been active on social media just weeks before Anna's disappearance, and the more she scrolled, the more she felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand on end. What had happened in that isolated place? Who had this person been with? As Emma pieced together the timeline, she made another chilling discovery, a series of deleted comments on one of the posts, hinting at an encounter that had turned sour. "You shouldn't have gone there alone," one comment read ominously. The rumors are true. Driven by a mixture of fear and determination, Emma decided to reach out to the profile owner, crafting a message that felt both necessary and perilous. "I need to know what you saw in the crater. It's about my sister." With her finger hovering over the send button, doubt crept in. What if this was the person behind the threat? What if this was a trap? But the urgency of her sister's memory propelled her forward. In that moment of uncertainty, a notification pinged, and she opened the response. "You need to leave this alone. You don't understand what you're getting into." Emma's heart sank. The walls of danger were closing in, but she could not back down now. The truth was just beyond her reach, and she was closer than ever to confronting the darkness that had ensnared Anna. As she prepared herself for whatever lay ahead, a single thought resonated louder than the rest. She was not just searching for answers, she was stepping into a treacherous game where the rules had yet to be revealed. Emma felt the weight of the unknown pressing down on her, and she knew that the next move would be crucial. Would she have the strength to face what waited in the shadows? Only time would tell. Emma steeled herself, recalling the moments shared with her sister Anna. Each memory served as a reminder of the stakes involved in her quest for the truth. She could not afford to falter now. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over her small apartment, she began to piece together the fragments of information she had collected. The ominous message loomed in her mind. Who had sent it? Was it a warning meant to protect her, or a threat designed to instill fear? Emma knew that she had to dig deeper. The crater, a site of beauty and danger, held answers that could unlock the mystery of Anna's disappearance. With determination, Emma reached for her laptop, sifting through articles about the tourists who had ventured into the crater that fateful day. She discovered that they had documented their adventure on social media, pictures of stunning landscapes interspersed with shots of their group, smiles, laughter, and adventure captured in frames. But one photo caught her eye, a distant figure in the background, partially obscured by the steam rising from the volcanic ground. Emma zoomed in, her heart racing. The figure wore a dark jacket and seemed to be watching the group intently. Who was this person? Emma scoured the comments and tagged friends, hoping to find someone who could identify the shadowy presence. Hours passed, and fatigue began to set in. Just as she was about to give up, a reply popped up from a user named NatureLover89. "I remember that day. That guy was acting strange, didn't seem to belong with the rest of us." A thread of hope sparked within Emma. "Do you know who he is?" She quickly typed back, her fingers trembling with anticipation. "Sorry, I don't know him personally, but I heard he was in town for a while. I think he was a photographer," came the response. "Was he ever seen near the crater?" "Yeah, I think so. He took a lot of pictures of the area. Maybe check with the local photography clubs?" Emma's pulse quickened. A photographer. The thought of someone capturing the moments before Anna vanished sent a chill down her spine. There could be evidence, something tangible that could lead her closer to the truth. With renewed focus, Emma researched photography clubs in the area. She found a local group meeting that evening. Though she felt the creeping shadows of apprehension, she knew she had to attend. As she arrived at the small community center, the air felt thick with tension. The meeting room buzzed with discussions of past exhibitions and upcoming projects, but Emma's mind was locked on the photographer. She scanned the room, searching for anyone who might hold the key to her sister's fate. Then she spotted a man in the corner, a camera slung around his neck. He exuded an air of confidence, yet there was something unsettling in his demeanor. Her instincts screamed at her. Was this the man from the crater? Gathering her courage, Emma approached him, her heart pounding in her chest. "Excuse me, do you have a moment?" He turned, his eyes narrowing slightly. "What can I help you with?" "I'm looking for information about the crater incident a few years back." "Do you happen to know anything about it?" His expression shifted, a flicker of recognition crossing his face. "I was there, but I think you should be careful about digging into that." Emma felt her stomach drop. She had crossed a line, and the tension in the air thickened as she realized she was now standing on the precipice of danger. "Why?" she pressed, determination overriding her fear. "What do you know?" But before he could respond, a loud crash echoed through the room. Everyone turned, startled. It was chaos, people shouting, chairs scraping across the floor. Emma's heart raced as she recognized the urgency of the moment. In the confusion, she caught a glimpse of the photographer slipping out the back door, his figure disappearing into the shadows. The thrill of the chase ignited within her as she knew she had to follow. Emma dashed after him, her mind racing with questions. What had he seen? What did he know about Anna? The darkness that surrounded the case deepened with every step she took into the unknown, and she was determined to uncover the secrets lurking just beyond her grasp. As Emma burst through the door, the brisk Icelandic air hit her, invigorating yet chilling. She scanned the street, searching for any sign of the photographer. The sound of her heart pounding drowned out the chaos of the bar behind her. Her breath came in quick bursts as she darted down the narrow alley, adrenaline propelling her forward. "Where did you go?" she whispered to herself, feeling the weight of uncertainty pressing down on her. The alley was dimly lit, shadows clinging to the walls like secrets waiting to be uncovered. Suddenly she spotted him, a figure at the far end, slipping around a corner. Emma quickened her pace, driven by an urgency she couldn't quite name. As she rounded the bend, she saw him again, the photographer, now standing still, looking over his shoulder. Their eyes locked, and for a moment, time froze. "Wait!" Emma called out, her voice echoing in the silence of the deserted street. He hesitated, then took off running. In that instant, Emma felt a surge of determination. This man held the key to untangling the web of mystery surrounding Anna's disappearance. She chased him, her feet pounding against the cobblestones, her breath labored but resolute. "Please, I just want to talk," she shouted, desperation lacing her words. The photographer glanced back, his face a mask of fear, before veering sharply into a narrow passage between two buildings. Emma followed, heart racing, aware that the shadows were closing in. She pressed on, determined not to lose him again. The alley twisted and turned, leading her deeper into a part of town that felt foreign and unwelcoming. Just as she thought she might lose him, she spotted him entering a small, dimly lit building. Without hesitation, she slipped inside after him. The interior was cramped and cluttered with photography equipment, old film reels, and faded prints lining the walls. "Where are you?" she called out, her voice barely above a whisper as she navigated the labyrinth of equipment. Then she heard it, the rustling of fabric, a soft thud. Emma's heart raced as she realized he was still here, hiding somewhere in this maze of memories. "Please, I just want answers," she pleaded, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and resolve. "I know you saw something that day. I need to understand." Silence lingered in the air, thick and oppressive. Finally, she caught a glimpse of him, crouched behind a stack of boxes, eyes wide with apprehension. "I can't get involved," he stammered, glancing nervously at the door. "You don't know what you're asking." "But I do know," Emma pressed, stepping closer. "Anna is missing. Whatever you know could help find her. Please, just tell me the truth." He hesitated, the conflict evident on his face. Then, with a shaky breath, he began to speak. "It's not that simple. There are things I saw that day. Things no one should ever have to witness." Emma felt a chill run down her spine. "What do you mean?" Before he could respond, a loud knock echoed through the building, followed by a commanding voice calling out for him. Her heart raced as she realized they were no longer alone. "We need to go," he said urgently, eyes darting to the door. Now! Emma's mind whirled. This was it, the moment that would either lead her to the truth or bury her hopes forever. As they moved toward the back exit, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the verge of uncovering something monumental, yet terrifying. With the sound of footsteps growing louder, they slipped through a narrow door, the world outside waiting with bated breath. Emma knew that whatever came next would change everything, and there would be no turning back. The confrontation came swiftly as Emma and her unexpected ally found themselves face to face with the truth they had been seeking for so long. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, revealing a web of lies that had kept Anna's disappearance shrouded in darkness. Emma learned that Anna had been living a hidden life, entangled with a group that had dangerous ties to organized crime. The man who had shown her the way was not just a witness. He had been a reluctant participant, forced to keep quiet for fear of his own safety. As Emma gathered evidence and testimonies, she faced an uphill battle against a system that had long since dismissed her sister's case as a mere cold file. Yet her relentless pursuit of justice began to shake the foundations of the old assumptions. With every lead she followed, every secret she unearthed, the pressure mounted on those who had sought to silence Anna and her story. Eventually, the authorities, now compelled by the weight of undeniable evidence, reopened the investigation with renewed vigor. Emma stood by, watching as the culprits were confronted with their actions. The truth came crashing down like a storm. Those who had orchestrated Anna's disappearance were forced to reckon with their past. In a tense courtroom scene, as the judge pronounced sentences that echoed through the lives of many, Emma felt a rush of bittersweet relief. She had fought against the tide of despair for so long, and now, at last, she could begin to heal. Yet the journey had not been without pain. The faces of the lost remained etched in her heart, a reminder of the cost of silence and fear. Justice had been served, but the scars lingered. Emma emerged from the ordeal not just as a sister, but as a voice for all those who had been silenced, whose truths had been buried. As she stood at Anna's grave, feeling the cool breeze against her skin, she knew that the quest for truth was never truly over. It was a call to others to keep searching, keep asking the difficult questions, and to never let the fear of what might be uncovered stifle their pursuit of justice. In the end, Emma understood that the power of truth lay not only in its ability to confront the darkness, but also in its capacity to bring light to those who needed it most. The tragedy of loss, while unchangeable, can sometimes lead to a deeper understanding of humanity's resilience. For every case that remains unsolved, there are loved ones waiting for answers. And as Emma looked up at the sky, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. This journey may have ended, but it would ignite a flame in the hearts of many to continue seeking the truth, no matter how daunting that path may be. The question remains, how many more truths lie buried, waiting for someone brave enough to uncover them?